Lin Xuan travels through the fantasy world and unexpectedly meets the powerful Empress Xuanbing overnight. 4 years later, Empress Xuanbing, the Eastern Emperor Ziyou, came to her door with her daughters to force her to marry. Facing lovely daughters, Lin Xuan was so excited that he was also very panicked. Fortunately, the beloved daughter's madness system was launched in a timely manner. Ding! Your intimacy with your eldest daughter has increased by 1 point, reward. Emperor Realm Cultivation. Ding! You teach your second daughter a new word, reward. Chaos Holy Communion. Ding! You defeated the monster that scared your third daughter, reward. Swallowing Heaven Divine Skill. Ding! You and your fourth daughter bullied the demon clan together, reward. Chaos Divine Sword. After taking care of his child for 3 years, Lin Xuan has become invincible in the entire universe. Donghuang Ziyou said, I didn't expect you to be so powerful. Lin Xuan. Take care of the children, your husband, I am a professional. Keywords of the novel. Daddy. The Empress brings her daughter to the door for forced marriage with no pop-ups, Daddy. The Empress brings her daughter to the door for forced marriage, complete collection download, Daddy. The Empress brings her daughter to the door for forced marriage, latest chapter reading. Chapter 1. Empress goes to the lower realm, bringing 4 daughters to the door. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 1. Empress goes to the lower realm, bringing 4 daughters to the door. Sanglong Continent. At a high altitude, above floating clouds, 9 huge golden dragons swam rapidly through the clouds. Every golden dragon is bound with an iron chain. And behind the 9 iron chains was a huge jade chariot. The appearance of this jade chariot is crystal clear and transparent, with a mysterious aura of mysterious ice, full of luxury and mystery. Wherever you go, the rainbow opens its path. Not only magnificent and luxurious, but also full of invincible momentum. Sharp-eyed individuals were all shocked. Xuanbing Jade Chariot. This is the imperial carriage of Empress Xuanbing. Xuanbing Empress is the ruler of northern Tian. Why did she go to the lower realm? 9 dragons pulling the cart, the Empress Xuanbing is truly extraordinary. On the continent of Sanglong, there are 9 heavens. One of them is called North Tian. It is a heaven and earth in the extremely cold northern region. There are 100,000 countries of all sizes in Beixuan Tian. The ruler of these kingdoms is a woman named Donghuang Ziyou. Her imperial title is Xuanbing, and she is recognized as the strongest person by northern Tian. Top-ranked experts on the entire planet. I don't know how many proud heroes trembled when they heard her name. And today, people from the Sanglong continent never imagined that the Empress Xuanbing had descended from the world. At this moment, in the luxurious hall of the Xuanbing Jade Chariot, there sits a beautiful woman in her 20s. She was dressed in a purple and gold robe, with pure gold piping around the cuffs, embroidered with exquisite phoenix patterns. Such exquisite and exquisite clothing sets off her fair and delicate face, making it even more beautiful and exquisite. As if in front of her, the sun was about to fade away. She is the Empress Xuanbing, the Eastern Emperor Ziyou. Sigh. Donghuang Ziyou is a powerful emperor. As long as she releases her mind, she can listen to the voices of various people on the ground below 10,000 feet. She couldn't help but shake her head and sigh when she heard people's discussions. Originally, she wouldn't easily go down the line. Just because there is one thing I have to do today. That's to help her 4 lovely daughters find their biological fathers. I still remember 4 years ago, she was besieged by 12 quasi-imperial strongmen. We fought and retreated all the way from North Tian, and arrived at the lower realm of Sanglong continent. Although she ultimately succeeded in repelling the 12 quasi-emperors, she was also exhausted. I fell from a high altitude into the river. Unexpectedly, he happened to encounter a playboy fishing by the river and saved himself. I saw that the young master was very handsome and went back to seek revenge in order to quickly improve his cultivation. Donghuan Ziyou bit her silver teeth and decided to use the forbidden techniques and this young master's dual cultivation. It is said to be a double cultivation, but in fact, it is to forcibly seize the pure yang energy in the young master's body and help him break through the shackles of cultivation. One night later, she succeeded. In order to prevent the enemy from finding themselves and implicate this innocent mortal young master, she quietly left before this young master woke up. I thought I would never see you again in this lifetime. Unexpectedly, not long after returning, she found out that she was pregnant. Under the influence of motherhood, she decided to give birth to a child and take good care of it. I didn't expect this one to be a quadruplet. And they're all girls. This has caused a lot of trouble for Empress Dowager Ziyou, who has just become a mother. In the past 3 years, she has had to work hard for Beixuan Tian and take care of 4 children. I am simply extremely busy. And this is not the most crucial part yet. As the children grow up, they always want to figure out who their biological father is. After all, seeing other children as parents. How could these 4 daughters have no thoughts in their hearts? In order to give the child a complete love, Emperor Ziyou decided to go down to the lower world and find the young master from the beginning. Marrying him allows him to make up for the lost fatherly love of his children. Through several inquiries, she successfully found the man who had been away for 4 years. Blue Cloud Country, Lin Xuan. Mother, is Daddy really in Blue Cloud Country? The eldest daughter Xianzhu, dressed in a bright yellow princess dress, had an unparalleled temperament at a young age and was as beautiful as a flower. She blinked her expectant big eyes and asked. Eastern Emperor Ziyou affirmed with a look on his face. Great. Finally, I can see my dad. My 4th daughter, Xianyu, tied her hair in a towering braid and playfully jumped up from the chair, patting several times with her small hands. My 2nd daughter Xuanqi has cute dimples when she smiles. She looked at a petal in her hand and said, when I see my dad, I'll give him the flower in my hand. My 3rd daughter Xian Han, wearing a pure white princess dress, sat there like a blooming white lotus. She eagerly dragged her chin with her hand and said, I really want to see my dad soon. Donghuan Ziyou could see the expressions of her 4 daughters in full view. I secretly sighed in my heart, this trip was really the right one. For the sake of her daughter, she will make an exception and let Lin Xuan, a mortal, enter the North Shantian. Your Majesty, 300 miles ahead is the border of Blue Cloud Kingdom. At this moment, a silver-haired woman dressed in tight black clothes with a slender and fiery figure approached and said. She is the capable general of the Eastern Emperor Ziyou, Ruoying. The Xuanbing Jade Chariot is not suitable for entering the Blue Cloud Kingdom, otherwise it will cause even greater sensation. Let's stop here. Go find Lin Xuan now and bring him here to meet me. Donghuan Ziyou said calmly. Yes. Ruoying immediately turned into a black light and disappeared. Blue Cloud Country. Xiangcheng. In front of a relatively small courtyard, the narrow road was now crowded with people. Looking around, they are all young women in their 20s. They were all dressed up beautifully and had a graceful demeanor. Squeezing towards the door, eager to rush in. Lin Lang, come out and meet me. Master Lin, I have been waiting for you for 7 days and 7 nights. When exactly will you show up? Master Lin, I am the daughter of the Prime Minister. Please let me meet you once. I heard the heart-wrenching cries of women outside the yard. Zhao Wanfu shook his head and sighed as the butler of this Lin family courtyard. He hurriedly walked into the backyard and said to the young master Lin Xuan, who was lying on a rattan chair eating grapes and drinking fine wine. Young master, even the daughter of the Prime Minister has arrived. You'd better go out and meet them. Lin Xuan threw away the grapes and frowned, saying, a bunch of mediocre and vulgar fans, let's send them away. Over the years, Lin Xuan's handsome appearance has attracted countless heirs to propose. However, Lin Xuan refused without exception. He is really not interested in this group of mediocre and vulgar fans. Speaking of his background. In fact, he is a traveler who has traveled to this mystical world called Sanglong continent since 15 years ago. There is no system, and my identity is not prominent. I am just the only son of an ordinary businessman in Xiangcheng. Due to his biological father's early death, he naturally inherited the family business. Over the years, relying on the wealth accumulated by his father, he has lived a life of salt fish. I thought I would live my life like this. Unexpectedly, as he grew older, his appearance became increasingly handsome. His fame also spread throughout Xiangcheng and quickly spread throughout the country, becoming the perfect lover in the eyes of countless young ladies. Well, even the daughter of the Prime Minister has condescended to propose. Lin Xuan didn't even need to see them, he knew that these women couldn't catch his eye. Because 4 years ago, he met the most beautiful woman in the world. Her features are as delicate as jade, so exquisite that they are breathtaking. The figure is even more flawless, and every part seems to be meticulously carved by the creator. Even in the computer-generated images of his past life, Lin Xuan had never seen a woman more beautiful than her. Unfortunately, this woman is a very terrifying nun. I still remember 4 years ago. That day, he was fishing by the river and saved a nun who had fallen from the sky. After the nun woke up, she became entangled with him like a starving tiger. After a night of turmoil, he almost turned into a human. Lin Xuan truly experienced what it meant to be a beautiful beast that time. Even more outrageous, the next day when Lin Xuan woke up, he found that the female cultivator had disappeared. Nothing was left, making Lin Xuan feel like he had been voted for by a white woman. This made Lin Xuan not have much favorable impression on these so-called beauties. Alas, this damn world of looking at faces is all aimed at me. Lin Xuan crossed his legs and continued to enjoy delicious food and wine. This kind of salty fish day is still the most fragrant. At this moment, Zhao Wanfu walked in from the front yard again. Young master, everyone has been sent away. So fast. Lin Xuan was slightly surprised. Zhao Bo, today's speed is fast enough. Zhao Wanfu sneered and shook his head, saying, "It's not that I drove them away, but another woman who also wants to see you." No see. Lin Xuan waved his hand after listening. Zhao Wanfu thought for a moment and said, "This woman looks very unusual. No matter how special it is, I won't see you again." Lin Xuan refused without hesitation. Zhao Wanfu nodded, he was loyal to the Lin family and naturally had to obey the young master's orders. On the Xuanbing jade chariot. Ruoying said, "Your Majesty," Lin Xuan closed the door and disappeared. I didn't say much, nor did I forcibly bring him here. After all, she is the future husband of the Empress, and she dare not force anything against Lin Xuan. Moreover, Lin Xuan closed the door and disappeared. No matter how much he said, it would be nonsense. It would be better for the Empress to personally intervene. Donghuang Ziyou frowned slightly. This mortal heirs are quite big. After some consideration, she decided to personally bring the child to her door. After all, 4 years ago, I let him down. Now that the children are by my side, we cannot let the relationship between the two become too strained. Thinking of this, she needed a magic formula and quietly entered the Blue Cloud Kingdom with her 4 daughters. Lin family courtyard. Zhao Wanfu returned to the backyard and said, "Young master, there is another woman who wants to see you." Lin Xuan was speechless and said, "What's going on today? Why are these women like water flowing endlessly?" "Yeah," Zhao Wanfu nodded helplessly. "But this woman is even more special. Not only is she beautiful and rare in the world, but she also has 4 lovely daughters." 4 daughters. Lin Xuan was surprised. Are you trying to come and eat up all of your Lin family? No, see. Lin Xuan patted his forehead helplessly, and these women became even more outrageous one by one. Just after his words fell, a fragrant breeze blew in. Lin Xuan saw a tall woman with a divine radiance all over her body standing in front of him. Then 4 tender and lovely voices rang out. So Daddy looks like this. Dad is really fun. Dad, he is really extraordinary. I want my dad to ride a horse for me. The new book is on its way. Friends who like it must provide more support. End of this chapter. Chapter 2. Go to Beixuan Heaven, give you everything you want. Seeking collection. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 2. Go to Beixuan Heaven, give you everything you want. Seeking collection, voting. Lin Xuan was momentarily confused. What is the situation? Becoming the father of 4 children. Lift your head and carefully examine the beautiful woman in front of you. Lin Xuan suddenly became excited and rolled off the chair to the ground. Over the past 4 years, the face of this woman has occasionally appeared in his mind. Every time he thought of it, Lin Xuan couldn't help but tremble. It's really because this woman is too terrifying. The feeling of being dominated by her made Lin Xuan feel that life was more difficult than death. Unexpectedly, 4 years later, she came knocking on her door. Daddy, it's so fun. For maid Xianyu thought Lin Xuan was teasing them, so she immediately jumped up to Lin Xuan. With a stretch of his calf, he rode on Lin Xuan's body. Dad, drive. 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 She had long wanted her father to be her ma-chi. Unexpectedly, as soon as he saw his father, he lay on the ground. Dad is really good. The other 3 girls, seeing Xianyu and her father so close, also approached and hugged Lin Xuan. At this moment, Lin Xuan's arms were filled with soft little girls, almost melting his heart. He never dreamed that he would have 4 so lovely and beautiful daughters. And seeing Lin Xuan and 4 girls playing together, Zhao Wanfu showed a very happy smile. He heard Lin Xuan mention his one-night encounter with Eastern Emperor Ziyou. But he never expected that in the blink of an eye, his eldest young master would have 4 daughters. Master, your spirit in heaven should be comforted. Young master, he has 4 daughters. Your old Lin family has a queen. Zhao Wanfu was so excited that he shed tears. And Donghuang Ziyou looked at Lin Xuan coldly. My heart sighed slightly. I didn't expect that as the majestic supreme Beixuan Tian, my man would be so ordinary and decadent. If it weren't for her 4 daughters, she wouldn't have come here. With a light cough, Eastern Emperor Ziyou said, I haven't seen you for 4 years, you're still the same. Lin Xuan rode Xianyu around his neck, holding Xianzhu and the others in his arms. He finally sat up and said, You too. Donghuang Ziyou said, I forgot to introduce myself. I am Donghuang Ziyou from Beixuan Tian. Oh, Lin Xuan's face remained calm. He didn't know what the North Xiantian was, nor did he know the origin of the Eastern Emperor Ziyou. On the side, Zhao Wanfu and Zhao Bo were so scared that their legs trembled and they almost knelt on the ground. Young master, madam, she is actually the Empress of North Xiantian. Many people in the Canglong continent are not unfamiliar with Beixuan Tian. That is a place of extreme cold in the north. There are hundreds of thousands of countries of all sizes, which is a legendary world surpassing the continent of Canglong. In the northern Xiantian, only the highest imperial family had the surname Donghuang. It has long been rumored in the lower world that 4 years ago, there appeared a female emperor in Beixuan Tian who was both ancient and modern. Combining the domineering temperament of Emperor Ziyou, Zhao Wanfu immediately guessed that she was the empress. Upon hearing Zhao Wanfu's words, Lin Xuan appeared calm on the surface, but in his heart, there were turbulent waves. Be well behaved, it turned out that the Empress of North Xiantian was standing in front of me. This joke is too big. Calming his mood, Lin Xuan asked, "Why did you come today?" "For the missing fatherly love of the children, I will take you back to Beixuan Heaven and marry you as my husband." Donghuang Ziyou's face was flat. "Marry me?" Lin Xuan looked speechless. "What a joke. I'm a handsome 7-foot-old man. Even if I want to get married, I'll marry you." Originally, he had no intention of having any further entanglement with the Eastern Emperor Ziyou. But these 4 daughters are so adorable. The blood is thicker than water in their family relationship, which made Lin Xuan's father's love explode for a while. For the sake of the children, he can reluctantly accept the Eastern Emperor Ziyou. But it's absolutely impossible for him to get married. The dignity of a man must never be lost. "Ha! Donghuang Ziyou sneered, "Are you marrying me? Why are you?" As the empress of the generation, she enjoys controlling everything. But now, Lin Xuan actually refutes her demands and wants her to get married. How could she possibly marry a mortal, Donghuang Ziyou? "Just because I am the father of the children," Lin Xuan said calmly. Donghuang Ziyou said, The atmosphere was temporarily deadlocked. Zhao Wanfu quickly advised, "Your Majesty, young master, we can discuss the matter of marriage later. It's best to plan for the children now." Donghuang Ziyou let out a soft breath and said, "Over the years, children have lost too much fatherly love. For their sake, come with me. When you arrive at Beixuan Heaven, I can give you everything you want. Power, wealth, cultivation, artifacts, and longevity will all be present. I have nothing else to ask for, as long as you treat the children well." Lin Xuan said, "Of course I will be good to my children." Donghuang Ziyou nodded, she could see this now. "Let's go now." Eastern Emperor Ziyou prepared to turn around. Lin Xuan hesitated for a moment. It's not that he doesn't want to accompany and raise these 4 children. But now he has no strengths, except for enjoying life with salted fish, he knows nothing else. To make him become a wet dad and take care of the children is something that I can't even think of. Ding! At this moment, an electric current flashed through Lin Xuan's body. A crisp mechanical sound sounded. The Pet Baby Mad Dad system has been successfully activated. First time binding, reward beginners with a big gift pack. Do you want to claim it? Lin Xuan felt a burst of ecstasy in his heart, finally having a system. The functionality of the system can be directly identified by its name. Lin Xuan felt that he could easily solve the problem of taking care of children. Taking a deep breath, he silently recited in his heart, "Get it. The beginner gift pack has been successfully claimed. Do you want to open it?" "Yes." Congratulations to the host for obtaining the passive divine skill, Invincible Forbidden Domain. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the Grandmaster level culinary skills. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the Perfect Daddy Tutorial X1. Seeing the newbie reward provided by the system, Lin Xuan's heart was boiling again. The reward looks very impressive. The system provides an explanation at this point. Invincible Forbidden Domain. A passive divine skill. With this divine skill, Lin Xuan automatically forms an invincible protection area within a certain range of his body. As the cultivation level increases, the scope of the protected area also increases. The Perfect Daddy Tutorial is a learning material. All the information will be automatically imported into Lin Xuan's mind, making him a perfect dad in an instant. A master-level culinary skill, without the need for systematic explanation, Lin Xuan knows what it is useful for. Do you want to extract the reward? The system asked. Lin Xuan said in his heart, extract. With these rewards, Lin Xuan can not only immediately become a qualified dad. And there is no need to worry about any danger in the North Xiantian due to low cultivation. It has to be said that the system's rewards are really thoughtful. Ding! Successfully extracted the passive divine skill, invincible forbidden domain. Successfully extracted master-level cooking skills. Successfully extracted the perfect dad tutorial. Importing information. 20%. 100%, complete. End of this chapter. Chapter 3. A man who can become an empress must have outstanding qualities. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 3. A man who can become an empress must have outstanding qualities. Seeking collection, voting daddy. Daddy. Hurry up and drive, take me home. Xian Yu's little hand held Lin Xian's ears and anxiously shook a pair of calves. Before Lin Xian could recover, Xian Zhu held Lin Xian's hand and said, "Daddy, come with us." "Yeah, Dad, let's go." Xuanqi and Xianhan also looked expectant. Seeing their innocent and hopeful eyes, how could Lin Xian refuse? Besides, staying here is indeed not suitable. There are so many women coming to propose every day, which has a negative impact on the children. "Okay, Dad, and you guys go home." Lin Xian indulgently rubbed the heads of the 4 little girls with his hands. An imperceptible smile appeared at the corner of Donghuang Ziyou's mouth. Lin Xian asked, "Babies, what are your names?" Having been hot with his 4 daughters for so long, Lin Xian had long wanted to know their names. Xianzhu raised her little hand and said, "Dad, my name is Xianzhu." Xuanqi handed the petals in her hand to Lin Xian and said, "My name is Xuanqi." Xianhan grinned sweetly and said, "My name is Xianhan." "What about you?" Lin Xian picked up Xianyu from above. Xianyu hugged Lin Xian's arm and didn't want to jump to the ground. He hung in a semi-empty place and said, "Dad, my name is Xianyu." "Okay, I got it." Lin Xian memorized the names and characteristics of his 4 daughters in his heart. With the perfect dad tutorial, he can instantly distinguish his 4 daughters. This is mainly analyzed from both appearance and personality. According to Lin Xian's observation, the eldest daughter Xianzhu is the most polite, and her every move carries the noble aura of the royal family. My second daughter Xuanqi is a super cute little girl with a chubby face and 2 beautiful dimples when she smiles. Xianhan, the third daughter, has a shy personality and looks both quiet and elegant. When she grows up, she will definitely be a holy white peony. Fourth daughter Xianyu, there is no need to say more, she is definitely a little devil. If someone else were to take care of these 4 daughters, they would probably have to start with a big head. But now Lin Xian is confident and completely fearless of future challenges. "Babies, Dad still has something to deal with. You go play on the side first." Lin Xian then asked his 4 daughters to leave for a while. Xianzhu immediately summoned the 3 younger sisters to the side. Lin Xian said to Emperor Ziyou, "I can go to Beixuan Heaven with you, but you also have to promise me 2 things. Donghuang Ziyou nodded and said, "Tell me." "First, let Zhao Bo go with me." Lin Xian glanced at Zhao Wanfu. Zhao Bo stayed at the Lin family before he was born and took good care of him and the Lin family. Going down to North Xiantian and taking Zhao Bo to enjoy his fortune can also be considered as a reward for him. Zhao Wanfu shook his head and said, "Young master, I won't go. As I get old and nostalgic, I just want to stay here forever." "Okay then." Lin Xian turned his gaze to the Eastern Emperor Ziyou again and said, "Zhao Bo learned martial arts when he was young. Do you have any way to make him stronger?" He pondered that so many people from the Lin family come to his door every day. After leaving on his own, Zhao Bo faced even greater pressure. In case someone causes trouble or something, he needs to be able to control the situation. Donghuang Ziyou smiled slightly and said, "This is simple." With a wave of her jade hand, she took out a book of transmission jade slips that were shrouded in immortal aura. The technique on this jade slip is a holy level technique. Although you are in the realm of mysticism, your upper limit is not high. But with this technique, you can ascend to the realm of divine spirit in just one more month. Your Majesty, Empress Xie. Zhao Wanfu looked shocked and quickly took the jade slip for passing the merit. In the martial arts realm of Canlong continent, there is an extremely strict division of cultivation levels. Tongxian, Lingluan, Shenshou, Venerable, Emperor Realm, Great Sage, Ancient God, Heavenly Lord. A single cultivation technique can quickly elevate him from the mystical realm to the divine realm, which is simply a miraculous speed. In the past, Zhao Wanfu couldn't even dream about it. After all, his talent is limited and his age is not young, so his innate talent has long been established. But for Empress Dowager Ziyou, these are not problems at all. Zhao Wanfu was well aware that if the jade slips in his hand were to be circulated, it would inevitably cause a frenzy of competition across the entire continent. What about the second thing? Donghuang Ziyou then looked at Lin Xuan. Go say goodbye to my dad. Lin Xuan's gaze darkened. A cemetery in Xiangcheng. Lin Xuan stood in front of his father's tombstone, holding his 4 daughters. Dad, there's a big happy thing to tell you, which is that I have 4 daughters now. You never dreamed that you would have 4 granddaughters, right? Unfortunately, you left too early to see these 4 lovely children with your own eyes. Taking a deep breath, Lin Xuan bowed and bowed. Today, I'm going to leave here with my children. Don't feel lonely alone. Zhao Bo will often come to see you. After speaking, Lin Xuan turned around and left with his 4 daughters. Not far away, Donghuang Ziyou stood there staring at them all along. When they approach, they will come up with a magic trick. With Lin Xuan and his 4 daughters, they explored the void and transformed into a light and shadow rushing towards the northern sky. North Xiantian. An endless white world. Covered in silver, white snowflakes can be seen dancing everywhere. Pure white spiritual energy floats in the air, making this place feel like a divine ice realm. To Lin Xuan's surprise, the temperature here is not low, but rather very suitable. After flying 30 million miles with him, Emperor Ziyou finally arrived at the Xuanbing Palace, which symbolizes the highest power in the North Xiantian. This is my palace, said the Eastern Emperor Ziyou lightly. Then she landed on the ground with Lin Xuan and the children. The palace guards saw her coming and showed an extremely respectful expression, kneeling on one knee and bowing. Donghuang Ziyou led Lin Xuan and the children all the way to the backyard of Xuanbing Palace. On this journey, anyone who saw Lin Xuan showed a look of envy and admiration. The dream of becoming the Xuanbing Empress is for all men in the entire northern Xiantian and even the 9 heavenly immortal realms. Lin Xuan has achieved things that countless men dare not even think of. If you don't envy him, it is absolutely false. Of course, these people in the Xuanbing Palace all believe that men who can become empresses must have outstanding qualities. Therefore, envy returns to envy, and no one harbors resentment or hostility towards Lin Xuan. Lin Xuan quickly arrived at the Crystal Palace in the backyard of Xuanbing Palace with Emperor Ziyou. This Crystal Palace, covering an area of 1 million miles, is the children's daily residence. You can stay here with the children in the future. Emperor Ziyou summoned the guards and servants of the Crystal Palace. After revealing Lin Xuan's identity, Eastern Emperor Ziyou made these people completely obey Lin Xuan in the future. Having just arranged these things, Ruoying walked out of the black light and saluted. Your Majesty, there is a change in the heavenly demon realm. The ministers are waiting for you to discuss in the front hall. Donghuang Ziyou looked at Lin Xuan and said, I'm busy with affairs, so you'll have to worry more about the children in the future. Lin Xuan nodded. Then the Eastern Emperor Ziyou left with Ruoying. Lin Xuan looked at his 4 lovely daughters and said, Babies, let's take Dad to see your room first. To be a perfect dad, you need to start with the children's daily routine. End of this chapter. Chapter 4. Is so exciting. Perfect dad cooks with his own hands. Seeking collection. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 4 is so exciting. Perfect dad cooks with his own hands. Seeking collection, voting upon hearing this, Xian quickly took Lin Xuan's hand and said, "Dad, you need to go to my room first." Xian showed a frightened expression and said, "Dad, there are many terrifying monsters in Xuanyou's room, and the largest one is the 9-lin-ban snake. It looks so scary." Lin Xuan couldn't help but raise an eyebrow. Well behaved. This fourth daughter little devil really has a strong taste. Xuanqi smiled and hugged Lin Xuan's arm, saying, "Dad, go to my room. I have many beautiful flowers there." Xianhan quickly said, "Dad, there are also flowers and many beautiful crystal fish in my room." Lin Xuan nodded silently. His second and third daughters had normal hobbies. No, Dad is going to my room first." Xian wrapped herself around Lin Xuan's thigh like climbing a tree. She looked as if she wouldn't agree and wouldn't go down the tree. Lin Xuan noticed the expressions of all four daughters and couldn't help but shake his head and smile. It can be seen that all four little girls are vying for favor. In their small hearts, Lin Xuan's first visit to someone's room represents who Lin Xuan loves the most. Now the question is, whose room should Lin Xuan go to first without hurting the other three daughters? After thinking for a moment, Lin Xuan said, "Babies, Dad doesn't have a room yet. How about we take a look at my room together?" Lin Xuan believes that the best way for children to compete with each other is to divert their attention. When they don't care anymore, go and see their rooms one by one. Okay. The four daughters clapped their hands excitedly at the same time. Lin Xuan chuckled inwardly upon seeing this. With the perfect parenting tutorial, he was really adept at dealing with these children. The servants on the side watched this scene and all showed expressions of admiration. Undoubtedly, he is the emperor's husband. He is really skilled in playing this game. Subsequently, led by the servant, Lin Xuan brought the children to his room. It is said to be a room, but in fact, its size is comparable to a luxurious palace. Not only is it decorated in an incredibly magnificent manner, but all the facilities are also available. Sandalwood tables and chairs, painted gold doors and windows, crystal flooring, and floral cheong ceiling. Within reach, it exudes nobility and luxury. "Emperor, this is the room specially chosen by your majesty for you," the servant said respectfully. Lin Xuan nodded. It seemed that Donghuang Ziyou was not as cold as it seemed. Taking advantage of the gap between the children playing in his room, he quickly inspected the rooms of the four children under the guidance of the servant. Through this understanding, Lin Xuan gained a better understanding of the personalities and hobbies of his four daughters. It's time for dinner. Lin Xuan brought his four daughters to the exclusive restaurant of the Crystal Palace. The palace chef has prepared a sumptuous dinner table full of food. Through the servant's introduction, Lin Xuan learned that these were all very precious delicacies. Spicy immortal ink, golden thousand-layer mysterious turtle meat, milk fragrant dragon belly, honey sauce thunder mang eggs. All the ingredients are selected from various extremely rare monster beasts, even divine beasts of the primitive level. Seeing these delicious foods with all their colors, flavors, Lin Xuan felt a strong hunger surge. Under the care of the servants, they began to indulge in food. As he ate, he noticed that the atmosphere on the dining table was somewhat unusual. The eldest daughter Xianzhu scooped up a spoonful of honey from Lei Mang egg and licked it several times, but refused to eat it. The second daughter Xuanqi had a piece of turtle meat in her mouth, which seemed to never be chewed. Xianhan, the third daughter, held a spoon in her hand and kept spinning around in the bowl, looking thoughtful about life. The fourth daughter Xian called a monster from somewhere that looked like a dog and desperately stuffed food into the monster's mouth. Soon, the monster's belly became swollen like a balloon. "Why don't you all eat?" Lin Xuan put down the dishes and asked. Four pairs of pitiful eyes looked at Lin Xuan at the same time, and after a moment, the four daughters said at the same time. "We're tired of eating." Xianzhu said, "Daddy, will you scold us? Xuanqi said, every time we don't taste good, my mother scolds us when she finds out. Xian Yu added a little smugly, fortunately, I have a Tengu beast that can help me eat a lot of things. Lin Xuan immediately understood. Turns out the daughters are already tired of these foods. Through the tutorials provided by the system, he learned that children are very picky about food during their childhood. Not only should it be delicious and nutritious enough, but it also needs to constantly change the taste. It's like the delicious dishes on this table, even more delicious than the delicacies of mountains and seas. But just because the taste is too delicious, it can make children easily bored. After understanding the problem, Lin Xuan looked at his 4 daughters indulgently and said, Dad won't scold you. If you don't want to eat, let's put it down first. Wait a moment, Dad will make you eat something even better. What tastes better? All 4 daughters have bright eyes. Dad, is there really anything more delicious than these? Xianzhu pointed to the dishes on the table. Mom said, these are all the best. Xuanqi. I'm looking forward to it. Xianhan. Dad said there is something. Xianyu. Daddy, quickly take out the things. I'm hungry. Lin Xuan stood up and rubbed Xianzhu's little head, saying, yes, you guys wait here. Dad will be back soon. Later, he asked the servant to take him to the kitchen. He is preparing to exchange his experience with the head chef and see if they can make dishes that meet the children's taste according to the requirements. Go to the kitchen. The servant said, Mr. Bailey, Emperor wants to see you. Hundreds of chefs turned their heads at the words and looked at Lin Xuan with awe on their faces. Lin Xuan's handsome appearance and extraordinary temperament filled these people with awe. So this is the emperor's husband, truly extraordinary. At this moment, a middle-aged man wearing a white robe quickly walked out and saluted, saying, I am 100-mile boat, I have seen the emperor. The servant introduced, Mr. Bai Li is the best chef in our North Xiantian. He has been practicing cooking for 3,000 years and is recognized as the culinary god by North Xiantian. Bai Li Zhou quickly shook his head and said, it's just a nominal name. How dare he arrogantly claim to be great in front of the emperor's husband? Lin Xuan saw that Bai Li Zhou was a very talkative person and asked, I wonder if Mr. Bai Li is proficient in children's food. Bai Lizho nodded and said, I have been specializing in children's food for hundreds of years, but I have some insights. Oh. Then let's hear it, Lin Xuan said leisurely. Bai Li Zhou then shared his insights. Lin Xuan found that he did put a lot of effort into the nutrition of children's diet. The 3 meals prepared for Xianzhu and her companions in a day are extremely nutritious without causing any problem of excessive nutrition. However, in terms of taste and dish pairing, it is much worse. No wonder, after all, North Xiantian is a world of cultivating immortals. Once the people here reach a certain level, they can completely break through the valley. There are very few people who have expertise in cooking. Even if a 100-mile boat cultivates its way through cooking, it is impossible for him to cover all aspects and achieve perfection. Can you create recipes that allow you to create various combinations and keep children comfortable? Lin Xuan asked. Bai Like thought for a moment and said, I can try RD, but it won't work for 3 to 5 months. It's been too long, Lin Xuan shook his head slightly. Alright, I'll make a few dishes first and teach you well when I have time. Thinking of the starving expressions of his 4 daughters, Lin Xuan decided to start by himself. End of this chapter. Chapter 5. The 12-character true words of the Emperor. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The source has no content or has errors. Chapter 6. The confidence to establish oneself in Beixuan Tian. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 6. The confidence to establish oneself in Beixuan Tian. Seeing the prompt message from the system, Lin Xuan almost laughed uncontrollably. For at once, this reward is too generous. It seems that having 4 daughters is really good, and the benefits they receive are doubling. Indeed, it is about having more children and having more happiness. Lin Xuan now feels that not to mention 4 daughters, even if there are 10 more, he can still support them. Calming his mood, Lin Xuan began to check the rewards given by the system. Firstly, there is the Rakshasa deity. This is a wisp of divine inspiration from the ancient giant god Raksha, which is extremely powerful. It can instantly destroy the divine consciousness of any cultivator below the imperial realm within 1,000 miles. Even if they are in the same imperial realm, as long as they exert all their strength to activate this divine idea, they can still inflict heavy damage on the other party. It can be said that in the future, even if Lin Xuan doesn't show any signs, as long as he releases this divine energy, its powerful spiritual pressure can make people around feel a great threat. The second is the Xuanzhue Heavenly Book. This celestial book encompasses knowledge of all plane worlds on the entire blue star. With this heavenly book, Lin Xuan can effortlessly grasp the billion-year history of this planet in the blink of an eye. It can be said that this heavenly book is a super encyclopedia treasure trove. With it, Lin Xuan's knowledge will surpass everyone. The third divine bracelet. This is a top-quality spiritual artifact. Once this bracelet is worn on the body, the 360 orifices around the body will instantly open up. Continuously absorbing the spiritual energy of heaven and earth, transforming it into a continuous source of power, can help Lin Xuan accelerate his actions. Moreover, it can even move freely in the air, almost like a divine move. As for the fourth reward, the 10-square chart. This is a complete collection of formations that cut through an era in ancient times. This formation includes the universe and the 8 trigrams. The positions of heaven, earth, east, west, south, north, birth gate, death position, past, and future are all complete in 10 directions. It can be said that having this complete array is in my mind. So all the formations related to entities, nothingness, and time and space in the world can be instantly understood by Lin Xuan. This wave of rewards is truly full of skills, treasures, and knowledge. Even if you don't want anything in the future, with just these, you can completely establish yourself in Beixuan Tian. Lin Xuan was still excited in his heart. Ding! Do you want to extract rewards? Lin Xuan. Yes. Successfully extracted the Rakshasa deity. Successfully extracted the Xuanzhue Heavenly Book. Importing data. 20%. 100%, complete. Successfully extracted the Xinqing bracelet. Successfully extracted the 10-square chart. Importing data. 20%. 100%, complete. Putting away the system, Lin Xuan saw that all 4 little treasures had already been eaten. But they didn't put down the dishes. Xianzhu secretly licked the spoon. Xuanqi and Xianhan both used spoons to scrape the soup on the plate, wishing to scrape every drop of it. Xianyu covered her face with the bowl, looking as if she wished she could eat it. Lin Xuan was amused by these 4 little girls and said, "Babies, you still have to eat tomorrow. Put down your bowls and spoons quickly." "Oh. Great. You can still have it tomorrow." "Now is tomorrow, how wonderful." "Dad, tomorrow is a little more, I want to eat myself into a big balloon." The 4 little girls became excited again. They wish it could turn into tomorrow in the blink of an eye. That cute and innocent look made Lin Xuan burst into laughter. After playing with the children for a while after dinner, the servant came over and said, "For princesses, it's time to take a shower now." "We need Dad to wash us," the 4 children said at the same time. In the past, servants used to bathe them, but now with Lin Xuan as the father, the children are unwilling to let others wash them anymore. Okay, Dad will take you all now." Lin Xuan's father's love exploded and he led his 4 daughters to take a shower. The heavenly demon realm, the land of 10,000 demons. A mysterious blood-colored magic light enveloped the entire kingdom, and billions of demon creatures trembled under its pressure. Immediately, the blood-colored magic light transformed into a huge blood skull, with a ferocious expression, as if it was about to devour the sky and the earth. Seeing this blood skull, all the people of the demon kingdom felt the terror of death. Because this is the symbol of the bloodthirsty demon lord. As the most terrifying demon in the past 10,000 years of the demon kingdom, the reputation of the bloodthirsty demon lord is deeply imprinted in the hearts of the people of the demon kingdom. As long as he appears, it will surely stir up a bloody storm. At this moment, in the demon palace of the demon kingdom, the bloodthirsty demon lord Ziyou is fully operating the true element in his body, filled with indescribable mysterious magic. I truly deserve to be the demon lord. With such a strong momentum, I am truly lucky to be in our demon kingdom. Zheng Song, the ruler of the country, walked in with a look of awe on his face. Ziyou put away his magic skills and opened a pair of purple-black eyes, saying, "But is there any movement from North Tian?" This time, he returned as a strong man to help the demon kingdom deal with North Tian. As a demon tribe bordering North Tian, Wanma Kingdom has been heavily suppressed by North Tian in recent years. Ziyou has been dormant for thousands of years, and his skills have greatly increased. Naturally, he does not want to see his own country suffer such injustice. So, with his support, Zheng Song ordered the army several times to attack the nearest Fujian province. Ziyou felt that with the temperament of the northern Tian Empress, she would definitely respond. Zheng Song nodded and said, "The demon lord guessed correctly. The Empress of northern Tian really can't sit still. She has already said she will send troops to personally conquer." Oh. Ziyou showed a hint of excitement and said, "I didn't expect the Empress to personally come forward. It seems that she has already anticipated how much trouble she will encounter." Zheng Song chuckled and said, "The title of the demon lord is too big. Compared to you, the Empress is just a 3-year-old girl. She needs to be able to sit still." Ziyou smiled proudly and immediately put away his smile. However, the Empress Xuanbing is also a powerful empress in the imperial realm and cannot be underestimated. This time, in order to win over North Tian in one fell swoop, this demon lord decided to take both sides. Zheng Song's face brightened and he said, "So the demon lord has bigger plans." "Of course." Yiyu's face showed a sinister expression. "You told me a few days ago that the Empress has 4 daughters, right?" "Yes." Zheng Song nodded. "Could it be that you, the demon lord?" Yiyu's lips curled up. "My demon lord's Wuxia Mo Gong has just reached the realm of transformation, and can manipulate people's divine consciousness through the technique of blood demon from billions of miles away. Now, I will turn the Empress' 4 daughters into my puppets, and give her an unexpected surprise after she goes on the expedition." "Say it." He pinched out a terrifying blood seal with both hands. At this moment, the surrounding space seemed to be filled with the blood evil energy. Even though Zheng Song had a cultivation level of venerable, he felt a wave of fear in his heart. As if one's divine consciousness has been forcefully stripped away by others. He is truly a bloodthirsty demon, with terrifying strength and ruthless actions. The 4 daughters of the Empress are only over 3 years old, how can they withstand his torment like this? Zheng Song's heart was filled with fear. At this moment, the space suddenly darkened. The infinite blood evil energy quickly gathered together and shot towards the northern sky at lightning speed. PS signing completed, stable 2 shift starting today, end of this chapter. Chapter 7. The Eastern Emperor Ziyou is jealous. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 7. The Eastern Emperor Ziyou is jealous. Lin Xuan spent a full hour bathing his 4 daughters. Seeing the fragrant appearance of the little girls one by one, Lin Xuan wished he could take a bite. The servant walked up and said, "For princesses, it's time to go to bed." Zhu looked at Lin Xuan with an attached expression on her face and said, "Dad, I want you to sleep with me." "Me too." Xuanqi also rushed forward. "I want my dad to sleep with me too." Xian Han also approached and hugged Lin Xuan's leg. "I want it too. I want it too." Xian Yu kept jumping, afraid that Lin Xuan wouldn't be able to see her. Lin Xuan saw that all four children were extremely enthusiastic and had no choice but to say, "Why don't you all sleep in Dad's room?" Fortunately, the bed in his room was large enough, and with the addition of four little girls, there was no problem at all. "Okay." The four little girls danced happily. The servant quickly said, "Emperor, the princesses are still young and may not sleep so peacefully. In case they disturb you." "It's okay, I have my own way," Lin Xuan interrupted her. "If you can't even control your children's sleep, how can you deserve the title of perfect dad?" The servant was still afraid that the children would disturb Lin Xuan, but Lin Xuan didn't say much anymore and she didn't dare to interrupt. Subsequently, Lin Xuan took four little girls to his room. One by one, carry them to the bed. Soon, the four girls lay side by side, each with big eyes open, looking at Lin Xuan. "Dad will tell you a beautiful story, and then you can sleep, okay?" Lin Xuan knew what the girls were thinking. He heard from his servants that sometimes Emperor Ziyou would tell bedtime stories to children. But counting the days, she hasn't done this for at least half a year. Actually, children are looking forward to listening to stories before bedtime. Fortunately, there are countless children's stories in the tutorials inside Lin Xuan's body. Dealing with these four daughters is simply effortless. Okay. The little girls were both happy and looking forward to it. Dad is going to tell the story of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Upon hearing Lin Xuan's words, all four little girls had sparkling eyes. They have never heard such a fresh story before. Just this sentence satisfied the little girl's appetite. Lin Xuan chuckled inwardly at the sight. It seemed that this story was indeed super attractive to the children. A long, long time ago, there was a beautiful little girl named Snow White. But she has a very malicious stepmother. Lin Xuan narrated this story. Having the perfect parenting tutorial, he tells stories without hesitation and always captures the hearts of children. Unconsciously, the four little girls became extremely fascinated and gradually immersed themselves in the story before falling asleep. Seeing them all sleeping, Lin Xuan felt incredibly happy. These four cute and chubby little faces, sleeping with me, there is nothing happier and more wonderful than this. Lin Xuan suddenly frowned. Having the Rakshasa deity allows him to monitor everything around him at any time. He felt an indescribable mysterious evil force quietly peeking into the entire crystal palace. Is it because someone wants to take action on their child? The Crystal Palace is the residence of Zhu and her four children. Lin Xuan had to suspect that the other party was coming for his four daughters. "If you want to hurt my daughter, there's no way." Lin Xuan's mind moved and he completely let go of his thoughts. Buzzing, an invisible ripple exploded in the air. The terrifying deity from ancient giants is as imposing as 100 mountains. Just as I made contact with the Blood Demon Lord's blood demon power, it was like a wild beast, crushing this blood demon power. Hiss. The bloodthirsty demon Lord Ziyou, who was billions of miles away, trembled violently and almost fell backwards. What a powerful memory. Yiyu's right hand couldn't help but tremble slightly. He practiced for thousands of years to verify the imperial realm. And his cultivation of Wu Shi Mo Gong is a taboo-level masterpiece. Upon reaching the realm of transformation, the bloodthirsty power unleashed is quite terrifying. Despite being so far apart, he was unable to elevate the power of this blood demon to its maximum level. But that's not easy to break. But he didn't expect that the divine energy he had just stumbled upon unintentionally was majestic and vast, as if it were from ancient times. This is definitely not the divine concept of the imperial realm, but a sacred realm that is probably even higher than the imperial realm. How could there be a great saint in Beixuan Tian? Yiyu's gaze was filled with a strong sense of fear. If there is a great saint in the northern Xiantian palace, his plan to return this time will be completely ruined. A great sage is worth hundreds of imperial realms. Yiyu, if he encounters the great sage, it's cannon fodder. Zheng Song, quickly send intelligence personnel into the North Xiantian and make sure to find out who just attacked me. Yiyu looked extremely serious. Zheng Song knew the big picture and quickly said, yes. The main hall of Xuanbing Palace is brightly lit. Donghuang Ziyou is making final preparations for attacking the Demon Kingdom. Ruoying walked out of the darkness and said, Your Majesty, it's already late at night. Please rest. Donghuang Ziyou shook his head and said, If a big deal is not accomplished, how can I have the heart to sleep? At the imperial realm, he has transcended ordinary people, even if he doesn't sleep for a whole year. People in this realm mostly rest by regulating their breath and nourishing their heart. However, if one works hard for a long time without rest, it can also harm their mental state. After all, the imperial realm is not yet a true immortal transcending life and death. However, for the powerful woman Donghuang Ziyou, doing big things is the most important thing. As long as the matter with the Demon Kingdom is not resolved, she is willing to stay up all night. If Ing nodded, the Eastern Emperor Ziyou would say no too, no one could persuade him. Putting down the glass wolf hair pen in his hand, Eastern Emperor Ziyou said. By the way, is everything okay with Lin Xuan and the children? Donghuang Ziyou is worried that although Lin Xuan has come here, he is still a novice father and knows nothing. Having to take care of 4 children at once can inevitably lead to many areas of discomfort. Ruoying said, I just asked the servants of the Crystal Palace, and they said that the Emperor and the children get along very well. The Emperor cooked delicious meals for the children, bathed them, and slept with them. It seems that Emperor Fu is a natural child caregiver. After hearing this, Emperor Ziyou raised her eyebrows and a playful smile appeared at the corner of her mouth. Can he still cook? Shower the children? Yes. Ruoying smiled, this is what the servants saw with their own eyes. The Eastern Emperor Ziyou nodded slightly. It seems that although this man is ordinary, he still has some advantages. It's not easy to get along with 4 daughters in such a short time. It seems that as a mother, I will soon be forgotten by the children. Donghuang Ziyou suddenly felt a slight jealousy in her heart. End of this chapter. Chapter 8. No matter what problem, Dad will help you solve it. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 8. No matter what problem, Dad will help you solve it. Carved Gardens. The exclusive playgrounds for members of the Northern Xiantian royal family. This place has a radius of 100,000 miles and scattered mountains. Jungles, streams, hunting grounds, and amusement parks are all available. At the beginning of each month, it is the peak time for members of the royal family to play here. Due to Lin Xuan's arrival at Beixuan Tian and the beginning of the month, a group of daughters brought him here early in the morning to experience it. Dad, there are many cute monsters and delicious ice fruits in that forest. And there are singing larks and mystical birds. Dad, the clouds on that mountain can stand on top and take off. The 9-winged frog in the river is still the most fun. Dad, let's go catch the frog. On the way into the carved garden, 4 children chattered incessantly. They were all like little guides, competing to introduce interesting things in the garden to Lin Xuan. Seeing his daughters so filial, Lin Xuan's heart was filled with joy. Don't worry, babies. Wait for Daddy and you to play one by one. Faced with the enthusiasm of the children, Lin Xuan still agreed one by one. And when Lin Xuan agreed, all 4 little girls wore happy smiles on their faces. After playing like this for half a day, Lin Xuan took them to the amusement park in the center of the garden. There are already several members of the royal family taking their children to play here. I heard that Lin Xuan is the biological father of the 4 little princesses, and these members of the royal family all have a respectful expression on their faces. A man who can become an empress is definitely not an ordinary person. And the Empress Xuanbing is so powerful, she is the strongest in the North Shantian. Her man naturally deserves a good compliment. After greeting these royal members, Lin Xuan found a place to rest. Xianzhu and a group of royal children are playing in the amusement park not far ahead. Lin Xuan happened to have a leisurely time, where he could both rest and enjoy the beauty of the garden. Not long after, a beautiful paper kite fell in front of Lin Xuan. When Lin Xuan reached out to pick it up, a fair little hand was placed on his hand. When the little hand touched the back of his hand, it retracted like an electric shock. Looking up, I saw a beautiful little face of 16 or 17 years old, staring at him with big black eyes. "Is this paper kite yours?" Lin Xuan picked up the paper kite. The beautiful girl, Mu Yuqing, blushed and nodded. "Here you are." Lin Xuan returned the paper kite to Mu Yuqing. "Thank you." Mu Yuqing smiled brightly. "Young master, I often come here, why haven't I seen you before?" Lin Xuan's handsomeness and sunshine immediately entered her heart. Seeing that Lin Xuan was single, Mu Yuqing couldn't help but want to chat with him a few more words. Lin Xuan smiled faintly and said, "This is my first time here. Since we are both members of the imperial family, let's get to know each other. My name is Mu Yuqing." Mu Yuqing's eyes flickered. "My name is Lin Xuan." Lin Xuan smiled. Remember, Mu Yuqing didn't think much. After all, the Eastern Emperor family has many distant relatives, as well as families surnamed Lin. At this moment, an older woman walked by and smiled at Mu Yuqing. "Young Qing, you had a very good conversation with Emperor Fu." Emperor's husband. Mu Yuqing's mouth was wide open. "Then you are my cousin's husband." Her big eyes swept over Lin Xuan again. He is truly the person that the Empress's cousin admires, and he is indeed very charming. The older woman explained, "Emperor's husband, young Qing. She is the distant cousin of the Empress, so when we calculate, you are her cousin's husband." "I see." Lin Xuan smiled slightly. "Cousin-in-law, come with us for the upcoming tea party." Mu Yuqing remained enthusiastic. There were many young talents from the royal family at this tea party. "Cousin-in-law, you look elegant and must have extraordinary knowledge. How about communicating and exchanging ideas with everyone then?" Subsequently, Mu Yuqing talked to Lin Xuan about some things about the tea party. To sum up, a group of great young people from the royal family gathered together to drink tea and chat. The topic of the conversation is about human geography from all over the world. Through this tea party exchange, young people within the royal family can achieve better communication and understanding. While connecting emotions, it also lays a solid foundation for the future development of the royal family. According to Mu Yuqing, this tea party was originally abolished 10 years ago. Later, it was restarted after Empress Dowager Ziyou ascended the throne. From this, it can be seen that the Eastern Emperor Ziyou indeed had many ideas and insights. Seeing Mu Yuqing's sincerity in punches, Lin Xuan felt that he was here to play, so it wouldn't hurt to take the children to play. "That's settled then. I'll come find you later." Mu Yuqing left happily, holding the paper kite. Lin Xuan nodded. Just as I was about to sit down again, I heard a childish voice coming from ahead. "Dad, it's not good anymore." The eldest daughter Xianzhu hurriedly ran over. Holding her in his arms, Lin Xuan asked, "What's wrong, baby?" Xianzhu turned and pointed towards the distance, saying, "Xian, you had a fight with someone." "Really?" "Dad, go take a look." Lin Xuan thought to himself, Xian Yu is a little devil, and it's inevitable that there will be friction with the children. Those who play here, although they are all members of the royal family. But the imperial family is so vast. So many children gathered together, similar to those children's playgrounds that Lin Xuan had seen in his past life. Many royal children simply don't know each other. Even if you know each other, it's inevitable to have minor conflicts over some toys. With this thought in mind, Lin Xuan carried Xian Zhu to the amusement park. At this point, several adults had already gathered at the amusement park. The oldest among them is Donghuang Dai, who shares the same surname as Donghuang Ziyou. It is precisely because of this that Donghuang Dai holds a high position among a group of imperial families. And it seems that the boy who fought with Xian Yu is the son of Donghuang Dai. Xian Yu, stop. Lin Xuan put down Xian Zhu and quickly stepped forward to hold the little girl away. At this moment, Donghuang Dai dared to go up and pull his son. Lin Xuan could see that even Donghuang Dai dared not casually pull Xian Yu. It seems that this little devil really makes people dare not provoke him casually. Xian Yu, why did you fight? Lin Xuan asked. Xian Yu pouted and shook her head, saying, I won't say it. This little girl is really stubborn. Lin Xuan decided to Suzutuzi and said, tell Dad that no matter what problem, Dad will help you solve it. Xian Yu continued to shake her head and said, you can't say it. You can't say it. Lin Xuan was amused by this little girl. What was it that made her so secretive? Lin Xuan felt that in order for Xian Yu to actively explain the reason, he could not continue to force questions. Dealing with stubborn children requires some means. Lin Xuan deliberately let out a light sigh and said, alas, I didn't expect my Xian baby to be unwilling to share her little secret with Dad. Dad is not in a good mood, so he won't be able to cook a delicious and sweet meal today. Xian Yu's eyes lit up as soon as she heard something delicious. Dad's food is so delicious. If you can't eat it, how uncomfortable it would be. After thinking for a moment, Xian Yu said, Dad, let me tell you why I had to fight with Emperor Ziyou. It's because he said you look like a girl. End of this chapter. Chapter 9. Finally, I can show off my dad. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 9. Finally, I can show off my dad. After hearing this, Lin Xuan couldn't help but feel amused. It turned out that it was because of this sentence. Why did he say, Daddy, I look like a girl? Lin Xuan asked after him. Xuan exclaimed angrily, because he said Daddy's face is very white. Boys don't have such a white face, only girls do. This sentence made several adults present burst into laughter. Unexpectedly, it was because of this sentence that the two children had a conflict. Speaking of which, Lin Xuan's handsome demeanor is rare even for North Xiantian. His beauty can even overshadow many women. Donghuang Dai pinched Donghuang Haoyu's face with a mixture of tears and laughter, and cursed with a smile, stinky kid, Emperor Fu is so handsome. A man's face can also be very white and beautiful, you know. Donghuang Haoyu looked confused and said, can boys look so good too? Of course. Donghuang Dai nodded and said, Emperor Fu, who is your cousin uncle, is the most beautiful man in the world. Do you understand? As he spoke, Donghuang Dai took the initiative to establish a relationship with Lin Xuan. According to his relationship with Eastern Emperor Ziyou, it is not unreasonable for Eastern Emperor Ziyou to call Lin Xuan to express his uncle. Oh, I understand. Emperor Ziyou quickly bowed to Lin Xuan, Uncle Biao, I'm sorry. Lin Xuan rubbed his head and said, it's okay. Humph. Xian Yu proudly hugged her chest with both hands, giving her a look. It wasn't my expression that was wrong. Donghuang Dai pushed Donghuang Haoyu and said, go and apologize to your sister. Although Donghuang Haoyu was beaten more, there was no other way, it was Donghuang Haoyu's fault. Moreover, Xian Yu is the child of the Empress, and Eastern Emperor Dai can only allow his son to voluntarily admit his mistake. Dong Wang Haoyu walked forward and held Xuanyou's small hand, saying, Xianyu sister, I was wrong. Humph. Xianyu remained proud and delicate. Dong Wang Haoyu had no choice but to take out a small packaged candy figurine from his pocket. Miss Xian, I'll give you a sugar figurine. Aren't you angry with me? Xianyu snatched the sugar figurine and didn't open the packaging. Instead, she said first, my dad is the most beautiful boy. Dong Wang Haoyu nodded and said, Xianyu. Also, my dad is the most capable boy. Dong Wang Haoyu. Xianyu saw that Emperor Haoyu's attitude was very sincere. After peeling off the packaging of the sugar man, he licked it and said, it's so sweet, then I'll forgive you. Dong Huangdai breathed a sigh of relief and finally managed to take care of this little witch. Xianyu then turned around and threw herself into Lin Xuan's arms, saying with a smile, I finally have a dad too. They used to always show off their dad, but I didn't. Now, I can finally show off my dad to them. Upon hearing this, Lin Xuan couldn't help feeling a slight sadness in his heart. Originally, this little girl's reaction was so strong because she had accumulated too many emotions in her heart before. Since she grew up, she has been watching other children show off her father. I'm sure she must feel very distressed in her heart. You're really Daddy's good daughter. Lin Xuan couldn't help but kiss her fleshy little face. Daddy promises to stay by your side forever. Xianzhu, Xuanxi, and Xianhan were filled with jealousy when they saw Lin Xuan kissing Xuanyu. 3 little girls rushed up together and hugged Lin Xuan, saying, Daddy, give me a kiss too. Ha ha ha, good. Lin Xuan immediately fulfilled his daughter's demands and gave each of them a fatherly kiss. Seeing such a warm scene from them, everyone present was envious. Having a daughter is great. 4 little cotton jackets surround me all day, it's so happy. Wow, there's so much love. Mu Yuqing came behind Lin Xuan and happened to see the scene of him kissing his 4 daughters, causing her heart to melt. Cousin-in-law, the tea party is about to begin. Let me take you there. Xianzhu and her companions warmly called out to Mu Yuqing, hello, auntie. Among the young people in the Eastern Imperial family, Mu Yuqing and Xianzhu, the 4 children, have the best relationship. Seeing Xianzhu and Xuanxi jumping into Mu Yuqing's arms, Lin Xuan nodded and said, let's go. Mu Yuqing held Xianzhu Xuanxi in her arms and gave them each a kiss. 2 little babies, if I don't hug you for a few days, you both seem a bit heavy. Xianzhu and Xuanxi looked at each other in terror. Ah, have I gained weight? Did you eat too much last night? The 2 little girls used to stay by the side of Emperor Ziyou and often saw him not eating anything for many days. Under the influence of their ears and eyes, they also understood some principles of maintaining their figure. Now hearing what Mu Yuqing said, a cloud of dark clouds rose in the hearts of the little girls. Huh, auntie is teasing you. Mu Yuqing had a spoiled smile on her face and said, although my aunt is not as powerful as your mother, she is also a cultivation in the quasi-emperor realm. How could she find you too heavy? Upon hearing her words, Lin Xuan secretly felt a sweat on his face. Undoubtedly, he is a young and talented member of the Eastern Imperial clan. Mu Yuqing is a quasi-emperor at a young age. If it were a little bigger, would it be okay? Talking and laughing all the way, Lin Xuan quickly followed Mu Yuqing to the gathering place. A pavilion located in the center of the garden on a small hill. This pavilion is called Funya Pavilion. Just by name, you know it's a gathering place for elegant people. And the people inside are all extraordinary in temperament. Not only do they dress elegantly, but their expressions are also full of wealth and prestige. However, no one has the kind of arrogant demeanor of a playboy. This actually makes Lin Xuan feel very comfortable. Just thinking about it, being able to stay with girls like Mu Yuqing who seem innocent, the character of these people will definitely not be too bad. Let me introduce you, "This is the man of our empress, Lin Xuan," said Mu Yuqing as if offering a treasure. The young men and women of the royal family all had expressions of admiration on their faces. "Undoubtedly, he is the emperor's husband. His temperament is truly remarkable. The emperor's husband's appearance is enough to surpass our northern Tian. So handsome. I envy the empress sister so much." Upon hearing everyone's admiration, Xian Zhu, Xian Shi, Xian Han, and Xian Yu all had satisfied expressions on their small faces. Wherever they used to go, they would see other children showing off their fathers. Now it's finally their turn to enjoy the feeling of having a father. At the invitation of Mu Yuqing, Lin Xuan then arrived at the chairman of the table. Due to having to help take care of the child, Mu Yuqing sat beside him. Subsequently, Mu Yuqing introduced everyone present to Lin Xuan. Among them, Shengguan Jia and Chonglingting seemed to be the most outstanding among these young talents. Shengguan and Chong are only 1 foot away from the imperial realm. Not only that, but the two of them are famous talents in North Tian, proficient in music, chess, calligraphy, and painting. In terms of knowledge, he has a broad understanding of the past and the present, earning the nickname of North Xian Double Jew. After Mu Yuqing finished his introduction, a young girl from the imperial family present did not forget to add 2 more words. Subsequently, the tea party officially began. After chatting for a while, a young man from the imperial family asked Shengguan Jia, "Shengguan big brother, at the last tea party, you said you had a timeless masterpiece that you wanted to share with all of us. I wonder if it's possible to speak up now and broaden our horizons." Shengguan Jia shook his head and smiled bitterly at the words, "Alas, this masterpiece is really too difficult. I have been thinking about it for a long time, but unfortunately, my talent and knowledge are shallow, and I have never been able to write a poem that perfectly matches it." Chong Lingting agreed and said, "Yes, senior brother Shengguan has also come to me, but I can't write it out either." Mu Yuqing chuckled and said, "Is it really so difficult? Are you two so skilled in poetry that you can't even write a matching sentence?" Shengguan Jia and Chonglingting nodded at the same time. "Not only us, but also our teachers are powerless," the two of them forced a bitter smile. End of this chapter. Chapter 10. Wow, Dad is really amazing. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 10. Wow, Dad is really amazing. The words of Shengguan Jia and Chonglingting surprised everyone present. Their teacher is Jiang Zhoubai, who is known as the leader of the northern Xian Tian Wendao. This person's talent, in terms of academic wealth and talent, is not enough to describe. It is said that he practiced martial arts for 7,100 years and taught a total of 3 emperors of the North Xiantian under his command. In the literary world of North Xiantian, Jiang Zhoubai has many titles. Beixuan Poetry Immortal. Beixuan Ciaishen. Whence you star descends to earth. The greatest Confucian scholar in literature and Taoism. I really didn't expect that this line of poetry would even stump Jiang Daru. Mu Yuqing couldn't help but sigh. Shengguan Jia nodded and said, "Just because this poem is a swan song from 50,000 years ago, there is no version of the spouse poem left in later generations. Moreover, this poem has a very high artistic conception, as if any poem would pale in front of it. 50,000 years ago, I don't know which amazing talent could write such an incredible poem." Chong Lingting took a sip of tea and said, "If I could hear the other half, even if I die now, I would be happy." Everyone nodded silently when they heard him say so. Wenqi refers to reaching a certain level and valuing literature more than life. Obviously, the poem from the last tea party enchanted Chong Lingting. Xianzhu blinked her big eyes as she watched the uncles and aunties chatting there. She tugged at Mu Yuqing and asked, "Auntie, what line of poetry are you talking about?" Among her 4 daughters, Xianzhu loves literature the most. Donghuang Ziyou has also taught her many ancient poems over the years, so the little girl has developed a strong interest. Mu Yuqing smiled and said, "This line of poetry is that the autumn water grows together in the same color as the sky." I don't know if this is the first or second half of the sentence. What a powerful sentence. Xianzhu felt that this poem was very extraordinary upon hearing it. Lin Xuan's gaze lit up slightly. He is familiar with this poem. Having the Xuanzhu heavenly book allows him to instantly memorize all the poems that have appeared on this planet. Although this poem originated 50,000 years ago, it has now become a masterpiece. But for Lin Xuan, it was effortless to say the other half of his poem. "Dad, can you say the other half?" Xianzhu asked Lin Xuan with an expectant expression on her face. Before Lin Xuan could answer, the other three little girls spoke up. "Xuanqi. Daddy must be able to." "Xianhan. "Xianyu. Dad is the most amazing." The children all said this, and Lin Xuan could only nod and smile slightly, yes. The eyes of the whole audience suddenly lit up. Shengguan Jie and his team felt from the beginning that Lin Xuan was not an ordinary person. Now hearing him say this, I only feel a slight fever in my body. Perhaps today's Lin Xuan will really bring them surprises. "Emperor, hurry up and tell me," Shengguan Jie quickly urged. Lin Xuan said lightly, "The sunset and the lone duck fly together, and the autumn water grows together in the same color as the sky." With one word spoken, the whole audience fell silent. Shengguan Jie and Chonglingting exchanged a glance, both seeing the shock in their eyes. Sunset, solitary ducks, autumn water, long sky, what a profound autumn painting. These two lines of poetry have an extremely neat contrast, with contrasting artistic conception and tone. They are truly exquisite and unparalleled. Wonderful. It's really wonderful. I don't understand poetry, I can even appreciate how high the level of these two lines of poetry is. Emperor Fu is really talented. After a brief silence, the whole audience was filled with admiration. Lin Xuan's poetry, like a sudden enlightenment, gives everyone present a feeling of being touched by a fairy. It is precisely because these two lines of poetry are too beautiful, giving people an indescribable high-end enjoyment. At this moment, Shengguan Jie, Chong Lingting, and others looked at Lin Xuan with admiration in their eyes. And several imperial girls, including Mu Yuqing, all showed an infatuated expression. Lin Xuan not only looks handsome beyond the sky, but this appearance is also astonishing. Having beauty and talent. These young girls with a youthful heart cannot resist his immense charm. Wow, Daddy is really amazing. Yes, Dad is great. Praise like. Dad is the strongest. The four little girls caught a glimpse of everyone's expressions and clapped their hands happily. Both inside and outside the words, there is full of admiration and liking for Lin Xuan. Xianzhu quickly pulled Lin Xuan and said, "Dad, from tomorrow on, can you teach me how to read? My daughter also wants to learn poetry from you." "No problem, it's up to Dad." Lin Xuan immediately took care of everything. Xuanqi and Xianhan raised their little hands at the same time and said, "Dad, we also need to learn." Xianyu pouted and said, "I don't want to study, I'm so tired." Lin Xuan shook his head and said, "Not studying is not enough. People who don't study will fall behind. Can I just learn a little bit?" Xianyu thought for a moment and decided to listen to her father's words. "Sure." Lin Xuan nodded with a smile. It was not an easy task to persuade this little demon. Mu Yuqing and the others secretly admired Lin Xuan not only for his talent and beauty, but also for his ability to teach children. Especially that sentence, "If people don't study, they will fall behind." It's really the first time they've heard it. Emperor Fu is really talented. It seems that he must be invited to participate in the literary discourse 3 days later. Shengguan Jie took out an invitation and handed it to Lin Xuan. "Emperor, This is the once every 5 years literary discourse organized by my teacher, inviting literati and scholars from all over the world to participate. This invitation is from a distinguished guest. I only have one, so I'll give it to you. Please be sure to show your respect. Upon hearing these words, Mu Yuqing and others all showed surprised expressions. Jiang Jiubai's VIP stickers are only available in 9 parts of the world. All those who can get this VIP post are top-notch experts with a prominent position in the literary world. Unexpectedly, Shangguan Jie gave one of them to Lin Xuan as soon as he made a move. Upon second thought, Lin Xuan could even match the timeless masterpiece from 50,000 years ago, and he deserves this VIP post. Seeing Shangguan Jie's attentive expression, Lin Xuan took the opportunity to invite his subordinates. Anyway, during his time in Beixuan Tian, he enjoyed life while taking care of his children. Since there is such a grand event, let's take the children to play and broaden their horizons. Subsequently, the tea party continued. Due to Lin Xuan's stunning poem, the tea party that followed was entirely dominated by him. Lin Xuan enjoyed the feeling of being surrounded by stars and the moon among these royal children. The heavenly demon realm, the land of 10,000 demons. Lord Jingsong hurriedly walked into the palace of the bloodthirst demon lord and bowed, saying, "Lord Demon Lord, there has been no abnormality in the Xuanbing palace recently, and no strong individuals at the level of great sages have been found. The only abnormality was a man named Lin Xuan from the lower world, who was said to be the biological father of the Empress's 4 daughters, and arrived at the Crystal Palace. The lower realm." Ziyou frowned and said, "I can't believe that the man of the Tang Xuanbing Empress actually comes from the lower realm." End of this chapter.